I holdeth upon me a cornerstone. I think my speaker's on too loud, so I'm turning it off. The cornerstone of all. Don't you see the fox? Here's his eyes. Here's his other eyes. It's his shoulder. He's looking down. Isn't it fantastic how easy it is to draw some kind of animals? This is number 56 and 65. Well, let me tell you a rule of thumb. I think I wrote it down somewhere over here. Let me find it. First of all, I finished in one of my last cassette about gays and lesbians. Well, let me tell you one thing how God works on this planet. First of all, the 2 and the 5 and the 8 and the 0 are all basically like transvestites because they all have to be able to perform a task, okay, with 258 and 369 as well as 258 and 147, or a task of 123 over the task of 456. They are in order, but it is a task. It is an order of numbers, but is on 2 different lines. So God needs all these different things because every animal in this world, okay, if you want to talk about gays and lesbians, are they breaking any laws? I'm going to tell you one little thing, that every animal basically in this world has broken every single law man has put into the books. The animals drink where they want, they sleep when they want, they say what they want, whenever they want, at all the times, unless man comes in and tells them to shut up, takes him, puts him in a zoo and changes his life. They kill and they are killed. They leave it as is. They don't bring judgment upon all the animals of the forest. You killed my family, I'm going to come kill you. It's not your food, it's my food. It's first come, first serve. Don't you know buffet service is all along the animal kingdom? So all these rules and regulations and thoughts of lesbianism and homosexuality, if God didn't put them here, how would we know about them? How would we learn? How would we tend to think a little bit further of sexual disease because we haven't done something right? But for me, sexual disease, can it come from the 2 elements of the same sex? In a way, yes, because what you're actually doing is you're elevating what is naturally inside of you, that it's all right? You elevate this to another level in which you already have enough of this element causing the cancer in between to destroy whatever is too much. And the cancer cannot be controlled, and that's one of the reasons they said gays and lesbians cause this, along with those who take drugs. Yes, because drugs, what they do is they alter who you are. Now it all depends what drugs you take and how clean everything. Everything counts. So God needs gays and lesbians as much as he needs what kind of people the other people are. So he needs that for everybody else to look at and say, why yes, why no, just to find the difference in life. But it's a bigger picture. God doesn't see this in Irish guy. It's a much bigger picture. It's all about love and communication and understanding what the choice of another is all about. It's to spread our minds to all corners of possibilities. If man is here and the woman's here, how come the man can't be with the man? I mean, how can you not ask that question? If you don't ask that question, you're definitely not fully up here. Because it's almost like saying, hey, Dad, there's a pipe over here. Can I take this pipe with this pipe? And your father will say, my friend, if the dicks are the same size, they don't go together. But Dad, you told me one goes in if the other has a hole. I go, yeah, but the one that goes in is the holes within the same one. Just like in a pipe. Because the pipe is a bigger hole and because the liner is thick, if you make a teeny little hole in that pipe, it almost looks like your dick. Okay, while something is going in, something else is leaving from somewhere else, obviously going out and bringing along with it whatever comes behind its tail. Like the little thing like this. I have to go back a page. It's like this. I didn't do the whole formation of it. Here's your tic-tac-toe. When you turn this around, okay, it doesn't become this. It becomes this. What this is these cars are going in that direction. These cars are going in that direction. Okay, but they can't. Don't you see they're broken up? At this time, it's these cars going in this direction, 1, and these cars going in this direction, 1. So that's a good way to show it, right? So what I'm going to bring back, where am I? Here. So now if you really want to see it, these cars are going in this direction, and these cars are going in this direction. creating 1 and 1, and creating 1 and 1. They cannot go at the same time. That is why the 6 dice is going up and down this way, but on the other side, it's going this way and this way. They just can't at the same time, and that's why this spot over here on the dice and this spot over here on the dice is empty. Another thing we don't see too often, that we seem to, maybe we see it, but we don't actually see the actual of what it is this. You don't see this in Rubik's Cube because you can't make this move. But somewhere in Rubik's Cube, this is very important. And the only reason this is very important is because on your telephone, okay, it stretches out and makes an X, creating the 1010, meaning they constantly have to be the 1010 so that the in-between will be the 55. And I'm going to get to the 55 and a few other numbers in a second. So anyways, this is the new kind of roads they opened up in many new localities, because the flow is more consistent than having to wait for the stop and go. This one's the going around. Now, which one do I prefer? Well, most people are going straight. It stops them from speeding, so there's a whole reason for putting this in the middle of the road. This is your tic-tac-toe board, okay? From here, it can go down to here, or it can go down to here. And the reason for that is because you see the L? Remember I've been telling you the L, the 90 degrees? Well, this is the reason for the 90 degrees. This is the heart of the matter. You cannot drive through the heart of the matter. Therefore, man 6 here, this is the heart of the matter. This must be Jupiter. So that means man must be over here. I don't think he can be the center of the universe and live also in Jupiter. I think he's over here. The one problem with man being over here and angel being over here is that when this turns and this turns, they're not turning together. They're not turning together. I don't think so. Unless 2, 4, 6, 9 is one set of planets, and 1, 3, 7, 8 is the other set of planets. I'm just saying it that way because of the month of September, but I'm being prejudiced over that month because you want an alpha omega, right? So you put September in instead of putting August in, because August is not the end of the single digit numbers because it's the 8th month. September is. It's the last. So if it's the last in, it's the last out. The 9th month of birth, first day on this planet in this world. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I take the pentagram, but inside, if you look, I drew the letter Y. Okay. Now, if you take part of whatever touches the pentagram and takes it out, it looks like an arrow. The arrow in French is called flèche. It means your skin. They also show the same arrow in red, your blood, when you start Monopoly off. Don't forget the opposites in Monopoly are free parking 500 and pass through go 200. So it'd be 25 or 45. Love, the fox, the passage, beta, all perfect, right? But 10 and 30, which is man's world of 10, or the creation world, which is jail or go to jail, is the way man's punctuality is in this world. So I showed you this and I showed you that. One of the reasons for the E is because this is the 258 that comes into this world. As this comes down, it can go straight out, ching, 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 creating that E connect here and the E connect here. But this is part of the disk world, and it turns within. So both sides are touching the disk at the same time, but this disk is on the east side and this disk is on the west side. And the reason said that everything is going to happen in the Middle East is because this here is the Middle East. That's where all transfers of our mind. I have something very special, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get in. I'll show you the baseball routine. Here's the baseball routine. On the roulette board, this shape will show up twice. One of the times with 10 and 11, 13, 17, creating that shape. 51, area 51. Pretty funny the way it has to design home plate. You're at home plate leaving, and you're at home plate coming home. So what you have is 1, 2, 3, 4. Add them together equals 10, like 10-pin bowling. But if you enter them into the game, as each one takes a value on of not 1, but the following 1, 1, 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5 equals to 15. And that would be 5-pin bowling. This would be 10-pin bowling. It's funny way 5-pin bowling has more than 10-pin, eh? Anyways, it also creates the cross. And the reason for the cross is because every opening has a base on it. It's the same thing. Now, if you say go to jail, free parking, over here is the go to jail, here is Beano Railroad, here is Reading Railroad, over here is Pennsylvania, and here is Short Line. You want to vision it that way. Okay. 4 bases. So anyways, you had number 51. At the same time, the reverse of 51 on the dice is 26. 26 means the game, and this is the game you're within. I mean, I can't exactly sit and start explaining to you exactly how it is. I'm just throwing a lot of things out. I'm telling you, we need to work together to make this great story. If I start to add everything in between, I'm going to continue on doing 3, 4, 5-hour videos, and I need to throw it out broad and then go back and study it heavy. I need other people to work with me because this never ends. This started thousands of years ago, don't forget. I have 5 more minutes left. Another thing I wanted to show you is in 10-pin bowling, this is the way they set it up. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. But in all actuality, this and this. You ever see 2 dots together? This is one of the reasons, connecting this world to connecting this world. But there's not always 2 1 dots together. They show up in different areas. It shows up here, it shows up here, it shows up here. Okay, if you take a look on the Mayan, take a look. See the 5 picture in the center? The other side is the 3 dice, the other side is the 3 dice, and here you have the 5 dice. Here you have the 5 dice, the 3 dice, the 3 dice. So it's formatting your dice just by putting the dots where usually the bowling pins are. Okay, like leaving a mark on the floor. Another thing is, sometimes I will not have to go in bowling. It goes 1 pin to 1 pin. I may skip the center pin sometimes because once I have a center, I'm already connected with the spirit 3 dice on each side. So I'd go 4 pins, 3 pins, 2 pins, 1 pin, 2 pins, 3 pins, 4 pins, 4 pins, 2 pins. And I use the 4 pins because you must connect the 4 pins. If there's 4 pins in electricity, hook them all up. Okay, but the 1 center pin, once you have it, it's already connected inside the machine. However it is, you only have the 1 wire. There are no pins. So we did this, we did this. The other picture I was going to show you, it's hard to really understand, but you see how big it is inside and you see 4 corners? So that's where I say your 5 would be inside of here, right? Okay, and in between here, if this is 4, well, this is actually half of what one size of this is. So this would be 2. These are all cut corner bases. So their value is half. That's why I always say 1379 is 0.5 or half value. In between the numbers on the sides are a double value, and the 5 center is either 1/4 of or 4 times, just because of that. And I must find this this little thing I just found over here. Is I'm going to try to read it to you. Thus man 6 is internally man 5, as the core of his final thoughts or inner thoughts is of the totality of what man 6 is. And the 6 is man 4 with 2 beta north south and 2 beta east west, which actually means that from the 5 with what we're in, it's like the woman's curvature near her hips. Okay, it's in there. We grab out to the outside of beta. We grab to the outside of beta. We have 2 here and we have 2 here. We actually like have a steering wheel right in our hands. Okay, so we end up being the 5 with the 2, making it 7. Also with the 1 spirit, because we don't actually need to, because we can survive as an angel with 1 spirit and our life here on earth. So therefore our value can go down 1 because we're living the value in reality. We don't have to be a spirit mind taking our information back when we're already alive and connected to the same spirit. It's just one's going in and one's going out. Another thing what I wanted to say is that same design is, like I said, in traffic, the east-west is going east-west, and then the north-south goes north-south. What we're going to do now and finish off with what I said is that, hold on. Okay, now, Truman is about 6 and 6. It's all the islands connecting together. You come together as spirit in the dead center, 5 position ace, and connect everything. So those are the 6 islands in both sides of you. You are the definite one spirit of life living, taking from within. The 2 islands are the 12 tribes. To create this function, what we're going to actually do right now is to find out whether man is 5 or he's not 5. Well, in order to support 5, we will give each of them 5. 5 to the right, 5 to the right. Can't work that way. Let's bring it smaller. We'll give them 0. Well, 0 is too hard to do, so we'll take the 0 Baccarat style, and we'll take the 0 and we'll split it in half, and that'll give us 55. Now, east-west, north-south, southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest, boom, boom. Okay, all the directions. And now what we do is we take the dice cube. If you add 1 to 6 on the dice cube, it equals 21. Okay, 4 times, because we passed the center of 5. 4 times 5. Okay, look what happens to it. I'm just going to show you something. 4 times time is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. You have 40. It doesn't work out. 4 times 55 is actually, with a point, 22. So we're actually dead. So now watch what happens. I'm trying to show you exactly how it works out at the end. Because all they are is divisions and multiples, again, of the 5 until the number comes to work out. Okay, so you multiply it by 5. 4 times 5.25, which is your 21. Okay, now you have to ask yourself the question. If there's one of them, I've always said there are 2. So you automatically have to have this division removed by 2.5 again, because there's the angel and man. Okay, so it becomes down to 5. Now you go 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, and I told everybody we're 0.5, right? Now what you do is angel and man come back at 0.5, because it's 2 separate calculations and it's not in one. You understand what I'm saying? It's 0.25. And at the end result, 5 times 5 is 25. But what is 525? 21 25 cents, okay, is $5.25. So the whole equation will always come back to each other, because 2 or 3 of your numbers are correct. So whatever mistake you're going to make, not in my mind, there's no mathematical really made up to be able to do what I just did, because a lot of stuff I just make up in front of you as I go, or what I'm taking is old ways that I was using my equation, and as I'm evolving within myself, I am learning new ways to take these into the future. Now, what I did for you is incomplete, because I didn't satisfy my mind. I can't cheat you. I didn't satisfy my mind with that. I know there's most of it is right, but there's another reason. There's something else hidden there. There's another way to get there. It means we came from somewhere else within the realm of history and creation. From within time, we came through that sector. Don't forget, because number 16 is number 16, it doesn't mean it happened 25,000 years ago. It could have happened yesterday. Each of these numbers happen every single day of our lives. It's just from within the creation of these numbers, it comes up as being in order as 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's no more than that. There is one other thing I wanted to tell you, that if you take 2 S's, okay, as like the traffic, and you go over each other, you end up with an 8. But now we all know the center 8, man is in the center, but he needs the beta spirit, bottom to the top to the bottom. Your 10-10, here's your first angle at 10-10. Once this goes in, it's giving the energy to both sides, because when it comes in, it's automatically hooked up. But this is a spinning disc anyways. But regardless, once you have that, you have now made 2 divisions. Now we have to be able to tell each other what we've just done. So we draw this. because that's what it actually is. You end up with BB, or 22. It also means life. It's also number 13. Okay. At the same time, okay, if you take a look, when I wrote SS over here, I made a mistake and looked at it as 5-5. The 12 tribes have come back. Here, I marked 40. Now, where in the world can I get 40? 19th letter, 1 plus 1. The game is 40 of the 12 tribes, the 2 dice, the 6 dice. Add them together, it's 52. And the Mayan cycle in time is 52 years. Not only that, okay, but here's how it came out. If you take one of each and just put them together, it totals 24. But the difference in between creates a 14 distance. And it's what's in between, okay? Although you got the extremity, the sides of 2 matters here, there's a difference in between where actually everything is going on and changing. These are fixed because we calculate them fixed. I show you the in between because there's more than one thing happening. So whatever it is, there's action in between. And it reflects 2 sides of the dice as 7 and 7, or 14 on 2 sides of the dice, because it's 2 worlds up and 1 world down. That's why the V that sits on each other, you know the V, it's a V like this or it's a V like an X, because 1 world's on the top. That means the other world V is going to be the other way to this V, in which looks like army stripes. The higher you move up in the army, the more stripes you get. Well, the more you build this house, the more stripes you'll see. There was something in here that had to do with the Mediterranean. Well, every time you mention 41, it's like the Mediterranean, okay? Because that's what it is. No, but I had something really important I wanted to get out here. Besides fixing up with the homosexual and lesbians, don't worry about it. God knows what's going on. If he thought it was that bad, he would have killed you off a long time ago. I don't think he would have let you come up in history to where Magic Johnson gets AIDS and everybody thinks he's a homosexual when he's just a nice guy. So stop with this bull crap. Okay, let me see where this was, because I saw something about the Mediterranean, and I really don't know what it is. In fact, my birthday is like the Mediterranean, because I'm born in the 10th month on the 4th day. That's 4 and 1. That's the Mediterranean. Wow, I cannot find it. Oh, another thing about cubes, okay, is there's always 1, 2, 3 corners always meet on each corner. There's 8 of them on here by 3 is 24 hours a day. 2 dice, it would be 48 hours. And then man, which would be half, would be 60 hours. Okay. Buttonall, okay. Man is whole in this earth here. So he also counts for 24 hours. That's 3 days. And that's where it all stops. 3 days, 1 day, 3 days, 1 day, 1 day, 3 days. And there's many other ways to say that. Okay, so now we have this. We totaled that together. We got an answer from it. We talked about gamma. We talked about the reflections. I'm just going through here because there's something else in here. Okay, I got it. I found it. Something I didn't get to yet. The 9 card. You ever look at the 9 card? Okay. It really looks like, you see this space that's empty? That's the 1 space. You know why? Hey, look, boss, there's 1 space empty. Okay, these are a C or a C, whichever way you want to do it. Or you would just go 101. 1C. Actually, the number here, right, is 2. 5, sorry. Start over again. Okay, the number here in the center is 5. Regardless to it, let me show you the real part. Because when you redesign how it connects together, okay, this is the impression I get. This impression is 8888, which brought on to me a further impression where we start multiplying by 4. So 8888, okay, comes out the computer language 4096, which means the game of cancer. Add the 32, while we 8888 is 32, comes out to 4126. It means the Mediterranean game card of dog, God, and the queen. When you add this to this, it becomes 67, and that's the spirit of man. Okay. Now, when you take it over here, right? You take a look at it, add it all up. 40 plus 96, 136, or the 613 laws of Moses. 41, the Mediterranean. 26 is B and F. B and F. Beta, freedom. It's the world we live in. The flip result, okay, of that number is 58, which means the avatar of man in the heavens. It goes up higher than this. It goes into the thousands, and they all have as a meaning. And I like to use it when there's 5 numbers, because 5 numbers usually one side reflects the other side. So just going in between, you usually are going to find some sort of good result. Anyways, we will have to end it here. I am going for a Passover supper. I thought my keeper was still stuck there from last night. I still have to stick with Ron Paul. I watched about 2 hours of his videos today. You can always check my channel, what I watch, if you want. All right? Be well, my friends. It is very urgent that this Ron Paul, forget about everything else. Forget it. This is all I do, my friends. If you think I was wrong, if you don't think I see the other side, if you don't think I've weighed my options, then I think you've got me wrong. But that's fine. You have a different point of view. And I'm a little sad because I check what I do most of the time. And it's all right if I make a few mistakes, because this is where I am. This is where my life is. And if my life is somewhere, there's always going to be a few mistakes within it. So they're going to come out on screen. You're going to see it. You're going to screen me. But for right now, Ron Paul's the only way. We need to find a new monetary system. Something screwed up in Canada. Definitely Quebec has to fix this all up. And if I had the chance to run for president, I would. Raphael 7286.